So today I'm going to show you very simply how I do pretty much all of my bass lines. So let's just jump straight in. I'll give it a little snippet and then I'll show you how simple it actually is to get a really good bass line for a lot of dance music, not just minimal techno or tech house, but a lot of producers use this type of sound. So let's have a quick listen. So that's it basically. So I've made it quite simple purposely for this video. I'll show you how it's done from the start. So first of all, in Ableton, I use pretty much just Ableton stock plugins because basically I've mastered them, to be honest. And I think you can have as many fancy plugins as you want, but nothing compares to just kind of sticking to something and knowing it like the back of your hand. So that's why I've kind of stuck with Operator, because I think it's very clean. It's what I use from the very start, and I've just kind of found my sound with it. So just drag Operator in, insert a MIDI clip, and then you're going to click into the notes. Just for this particular one, I'm going to scale wise, I'm going to use A. You can use anything you want. Um, if you click if you click this here, you can put any note in you want, and this is kind of like a little cheat code. So it'll show you all the notes that should go with the root note, which is E in this case. Doesn't always mean you can't use anything else, but this is kind of like a rough guide if you're just starting out. This helped me a lot. So now basically, we're going to draw some notes in. It's going to sound very, I'll start from the top so you can see what it sounds like. When you initially put a note in with nothing on a patch, this is what a sound is. That is what you get. So what we want to do to make a bass line is we want to go into our operator, which is the stock default. Choose our wave. We're going to choose a saw wave. And then we are going to select all, drop it down to, if you kind of go down to around this area, it starts to sound like bass. So then what we're going to do is on the filter side, we're going to cut down a lot of the high end. So if you start doing that, it starts to sound, hear that? And essentially what we're going to do is sculpt that noise to make our bass line. So the way I usually do that, and there's a million ways to do that, the way I do that is lower it right down to about, I mean, if you can see the filter here, kind of go around here. You're going to need headphones to listen to this because you probably might not be able to hear it. And then on this envelope here, if you turn it up, you start to get a plucky noise. Hear that? Then we're going to grab the decay, slightly move the decay. That's very low, it's very subtle. It's a small accumulation of things like this that you do to get a great bass line. So I'm just going to extend these notes so you can hear it a bit more. See? And I'm going to enhance that noise, how can I make that better? So again in Ableton, if you go into your effects on the side, some sort of saturation always helps. In this case, what I found is a drum bus, was actually a drum saturator. That helps a lot. So if you just drag that on, straight away it kind of boosts it. It just saturates the sound, spreads it, and then if you high this crunch up, I've found you get a really good deep bass. So there's a little bit too much high end in that I like at the moment. So I'll probably lower some frequencies down the high end. It's starting to sound quite good. Let's get a filter in. Take off some of them higher ends again. Then I'll probably put an EQ8 in. Let's have a little look at what we're actually dealing with. So you can see a lot of low end there, which you'll probably lose a lot in speakers. Not a lot of speakers will kind of will make that sound muddy, so I'll try and remove some of that. You probably don't really need any of this coming here. So for me, that That's quite a decent bass line. That's the patch anyway, so that's the sound. So let's throw a kick in and see what that actually sounds like with a kick. You'll need to balance the volumes. That's off that, isn't it? So the way I normally, so that's our patch. We've got our patch, really good bass sounds. Everything sounds fast, nice with the kick in. What I would normally do now is I pretty much just start off with a bass in between each kick. You can't really go wrong with that. It always sounds good. I'll give you an example now. Done. Do you know what I mean? Like that sounds really good. It is obviously really basic. But when you're making dance music, especially as a beginner, if you can nail your kick and bass in terms of your volume and how fast it is, you're halfway there to making a really good tune. Because a lot of time dance music just kicks in with bass and some simple fundamentals. So if you can nail that, trust me, you're like 80% there. Um, so what I'll do now is, so this is over 4 beats, okay? So there's our 4 kicks, and then we've got a very simple 4 beat bass line. I start with that, so it's, and I'll get that to where I want it. Let's slightly just vary it up. We'll keep it simple for this tutorial, but let's vary it up so you can kind of see what I mean. If you go up and down here, the keys start to move up and down. So maybe let's start with the second key jumps up. And then we'll just start adding little bits in. So let's assume I'm happy with that. I will then duplicate that. Again, there's millions of ways to do this. This is what I do. I'll duplicate that bass line and then I'll listen to 8 beats. And the reason why I do that is because I'll just click that and move the 4 rather than having a 4 beat MIDI clip because I'm not the most technical person. So I end up messing up quite. This is just the way I found I can knock it up dead easy. So then I'll listen to that over 8 beats. And on the last 8, I'll change something. Could be something dead simple. So let's put another low key in there. It could be this simple, but it just tricks your ear into thinking stuff's gonna happen. So see, it's very subtle. So then I'll duplicate that 8 over, and then that's just 16 beat bass. But then essentially I'll just throw a couple of more notes in here and there just to mix it up. Probably do a pitch bend here somewhere. So the way you do a pitch bend is on the left here. If you click envelopes, there's a little arrow here. Your mixer comes up and everything else. What you want to do is you want to go on MIDI control. The first one is a pitch bend, and then this line, if you move it up and down, it like bends the sound. So the way we have this note on on the last bar, if that pitch bends right up, that would probably sound really good. I would imagine. It might not, but it's all trial and error. So okay, so that sounds good. So then overall we've got, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So what I would do there, and then at the very end, I'd just jumble it up a little bit. So maybe put this one up, like that, and then that is pretty much a bass line done. So let's have a listen. Lovely, and then had the drums in. Perfect, dead easy, nice and simple. Let me know if you got any questions.